Hi everyone, I'm Brooklyn Kaye. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a Black-owned beauty brand slash first impression slash inclusive beauty brands. I will definitely be purchasing more from the Black-owned beauty brands that I used today, but I don't have a ton of money to just go out and buy all new makeup. So I did purchase a few just so there's some inclusivity in this tutorial. But I hope you all enjoy this tutorial and make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel as well. It really helps me and my channel succeed. So thank you all so much for watching and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so one of the first things I'm trying out are these new Real Technique sponges. How cute are they? I already wet them, so that's why they're not fitting in the container. They're like this, it's kind of like an egg shape, but then it's like flatter on one side. So one of them is just like your average sponge, and then the other one has this like velvety texture over it made for powder. So I'm going to be trying out both of those. And let's start off with foundation. So the foundation I got is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvet Foundation. I'm really excited to try these. I've tried their eyeshadows in the past. Might have just been one palette, but I can't find it anywhere. But I did want to include this brand and try out this foundation as well. From what I've heard, it's insanely full coverage, so we're gonna see how it does. And then I'm in the shade Ibiza. One thing is the shade descriptions are a little confusing. Like for example, I believe mine said that it was medium cool tones with a golden undertone, like all in the same name. So I was like, that's a little interesting because usually golden and cool tones are separate. So I'm taking that sponge and just dotting it all over. And I am a little tan, that's why this foundation is slightly darker than my face. If you guys are curious about the tan I use, it is the Tanologist tanner and I use the shade Extra Dark. So if you would like a tutorial or to see how I use it, let me know, because I'd love to do that for you guys. Okay, so very full coverage so far. And since it's full coverage, the pigment is pretty intense. So it is olive, which matches my skin tone, but I'm also a little fair for it. Plus the Tanologist makes me a little bit more of like a brown tan rather than like a greeny tan. I do like the color though. I'll probably mix it for future reference just to tone down how greeny yellow it is, but I'd say it's matching pretty well. For concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Matte Complete Concealer. I used this in my Holy Grail makeup video. NARS is also very inclusive with their shade range, so it's hard not to find your color. And then I'm also going over the lid just to prime. And then for brows, I'm going to be using the Colourpop Brow Boss in the shade Brunette was what I got. So we'll try this out today and see how it goes. I think it was only $6, so it's a great price. Going back and forth, I like to start at the top, as you guys know. So far I like the brow pencil. I like that it's kind of waxy because I find that that stays better on the brows and just on the face throughout the day. Okay, and now we're moving on to powder. I tried this out yesterday and I loved it. It's the Beauty Bakerie Flour Better Not Better powder. And let me show you what it came in. It is so cute. It was this cute little flower bag. And this is my first time purchasing from them. I will definitely be purchasing more from them in the future. I've seen their highlighting package and it's like this cute little ice cream pint thing. It's so cute. So that I will definitely be getting in the future. But for now, this is the powder I'm using and let's try out that sponge. So this is the sponge that kind of has that velvety feel to it. I'm curious to see how this works. We'll see. I know I already like the powder, so we'll see how I like the sponge is the main thing, I guess. Yeah, looks good. The sponge is interesting because even though I wet it, it feels dry because of that velvety finish. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, the shade that I have in this setting powder is called Oat. They have quite a few. It's their translucent shade. They have one that's more fair, and then I think they have 3 or 4 shades above Oat that are darker. There's one that's more yellow, but I thought the Oat would just be good for me year-round, especially since it's translucent. I am going to go in with bronzer. So the bronzer I'm using is the Bobbi Brown Golden Light bronzer. The reason why I'm using this bronzer is because Bobbi Brown is so inclusive with her shade range. I worked for her, or for her brand, for a few years, and let me just say, you will find a match for absolutely everyone. The only issue was a few years ago was that they were all a little too yellow, but they've expanded the shade range to make sure that there are cool tones as well. Any shade you need is in the Bobbi Brown shade range. So the bronzer I'm using is Golden Light. This has been one of my favorite bronzers for years. I love it. I've probably gone through, I want to say like 4 or 5 bronzers of this because I love it so much. And I'm just swirling it around. This is a JH05 brush. And I'm tapping my bronzer in. I find that I get a much more blended and smooth look when I do it this way rather than going in and buffing. Now for eyes, I'm going to be using the lovely Pat McGrath Mothership palette. The packaging is like this nice heavy case, and it has like this gold on the back. Mine's very well loved. As you can see, it's a little dirty. But it's incredible. So here is the palette. It's gorgeous. If you want one that's kind of similar and has some of those colors in there without breaking the bank, you can do the Anastasia one. It has like some similar reds. I mean, not all of it is going to be exactly the same, but it's very close. And then this is a little bit less expensive than the Pat McGrath. So for this one, since it doesn't really have a transition shade for me, I'm going to use bronzer in my crease. So just dipping into my bronzer, just pop in a transition shade in the crease. I'm taking a JH32. They're not labeled in here, but it's this one here. And I'm just going deeper into the crease, so just a little bit lower. Blending that out. So although this palette is really expensive, the shadows do blend out incredible, and the shimmers in this are just delicious. You'll see. They're so pretty. Okay, now taking a JH37, and I'm going into this darker shade on the outer corner. And then I'm just taking the first shade we used from the Pat McGrath palette and going in to that inner corner a little bit more. Also, I can't help myself. I need to take a little bit of this red into the crease. And I just took a light amount, and I'm just focusing it where we put that first shade and just slightly above. This will just give it a really nice blend. I'm going to take this gorgeous pink shade. I love this shade. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? Every time I use this palette, I'm in awe of these shimmers. No one does them like Pat McGrath. Nobody. Okay, and for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with the first shade and just a flat brush. This is a JH43. And then just taking the brush that we used in the crease and blending it out so it's not so harsh. I'm going to use this frosty shade and put it on the inner corner. Next, I'm going to go in with mascara and lashes, and then I will be back to show you the rest of the face. Okay, so I now have mascara and lashes on, and the lashes I used are the Kiss Midnight Lashes. They're the Foaming Couture collection. For blush, I'm going to be using the NARS Liquid Orgasm blush. I love this blush. They have quite a few colors. I also love their powder blushes, but all of the powder blushes I have are in like palettes, and they're all in my kit. So I just put that on the back of my hand, and I'm using a brush and just applying that. You can also use your fingers with this blush, but I just prefer a brush because I have the most control that way. And I like this color because it's a little bit more of a cool toned pink. So for this look with the Pat McGrath, since those Pat McGrath shadows are a little bit on the cooler side, aside from the red, I really like how they all look together. And then for highlighter, this is one of my favorite highlighters. It is the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats Diamond Bomb highlighter, and it's just so gorgeous. So with this one, I love using fingers. So just dipping in and tapping over. It's like this fun frosty shade, and it's cool because if you look just forward, can't really see it, but when you look to the side, it's so pretty. And then for lips, I'm going in with Soar by MAC. Okay, and then I'm going in with Anita by NARS. So pretty, I love their lipsticks. All right, and that is the finished look. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on my next video on Wednesday. Bye.